obviously doesn't have any point to prove, but he may feel as though he does have a point to prove back in the Premier League. Stevie, maybe you haven't always been his biggest fan, but do you see him as the right fit at Chelsea?
Well, there's no question that he's going to score more than 7 goals that Jorginho got last year. And if you get a guy who will score 15 to 20, and he'll probably score 20, with the amount of chances that Chelsea create, certainly they created last year, unfortunately Timo Werner couldn't take them, so you'd have to think that Lukaku would take them. And if I'm Lukaku, I'm absolutely getting out of Dodge. Get out of Inter, because they've already told anybody who wants to listen that, you know what, we're all about survival now. We're not about winning the title. And when you rip the heart out of you rip the heart out of the club by taking away Conte, because with every team that wins, there's somebody has got everybody on their toes every second they step through the front door. And that's what Conte had. Now, I don't know Inzaghi that well, but I don't think he's got that incredible desire and emotion and everything that Conte puts into it to get every single thing out of the players he did last year. When you take that away and basically tell everybody, as I said, that, you know what, we're going to sell players, to me, that's just giving in. So if I'm Lukaku, I'm getting on the plane if I get the chance.
Yeah, and he knew how much he was wanted by Conte, as well as I'm sure he would be by most managers. Frank, do you like this move for your former club? They do need a clinical goal scorer.
Yeah, they do, because Chelsea achieves a fantastic season with the Champions League, but we've been clever enough to understand that offensively they had many problems. And of course, Lukaku, as Steve mentioned, is going to score more goals and going to put a more solid situation for the forward. It must be emotionally very hard for him, because we all know, people who know Lukaku and know the history, he's a big fan of Chelsea, always been, and it was his dream to sign for Chelsea. He did, it didn't work, then left, then came back, and it didn't work again, so he had to leave and sign for Inter, and has been successful and very creative and performant, and now he has to leave again. I'm sure he must have a very hard feeling of having to leave Inter, where you're going to play the Champions League, but at the same time being very happy to go back to his favorite team, knowing that he hasn't been successful with them, hasn't been performant, but wants to fight the challenge. So I'm pleased. I think he evolved a lot. He's not the player that I saw when he was playing for Chelsea. If he comes to Chelsea, I wish him to be as good as he was when he played for Inter. So we're going to see it, but it's going to be very interesting.
Jules, it is that time in the discussion where we ask you to give a percentage chance of Lukaku going back to Chelsea.
For me, it's 100%. I'm sorry. I know they're still discussing and we're nowhere near an agreement yet. But this one will happen because everybody wants it to happen. Chelsea, Inter, who need the money. Unfortunately for them, this is a sad situation for Inter, but they need that money. Like they needed the Hakimi money. It's the same. And Lukaku wants that move. So yet they haven't found a full agreement on the transfer fee and the structure of the deal. But they will eventually, because that's all they want. So they all want the same thing. So I really think it will happen, and I think it would be a great signing for Lukaku and for Chelsea and for Thomas Tuchel.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.